All right, thank you, Bernice, for the awesome Blitz call. I love the gratitude messages. Like, it just makes us realize that we don't always have to send out things to like invite and blast people with our business opportunity or products, because sometimes I think we do that too much, and I'm guilty of it also, because I'm like, who wants to do what I'm doing? I love what I'm doing, so you should love what I'm doing right away. But I think it's awesome just to develop that gratitude and show appreciation. So thanks for all those awesome ideas and keeping everybody accountable. I'm going to go through announcements, and then we have a couple people that are coming on to speak tonight that I'm super excited for you guys to hear from. Number one, just to remind you guys, please make sure you're checking the Team Unleashed Facebook page regularly. I know I say that a lot, and I'll probably continue to say it a lot, just because I want you guys to stay up to date on all the announcements, all the events. Make sure you're not missing anything and that you're in the loop, because it gets too hard to let everybody know all things that are going on. So make sure you're being responsible and checking that page, and then plugging into what you need to plug into, right? Everybody's at different stages and different levels in their business. So you plug into where you're at in your business and what you're needing to and what you are able to, in conjunction with, you know, working your full-time job and all the other things that you have going on. We understand that you can't make it to everything, but try to make it to as much as possible and stay committed to those things. So Bernice already kind of went through the events. The happy hour on Wednesday night at our house from 7 to 8 p.m. It'll be super low-key, super casual, that you can invite people to. We're not going to show videos. We're just going to have some samples out. If people want to add vodka to their samples, they can. But it'll be just kind of snacks and sharing stories. Chad, look at Chad's face. People might get wild and crazy. If that'll bring them in is by having a bottle of vodka on the table, then I'll put the vodka out for them. So super low key, share some stories, snacks, and then just kind of hang out. We'll expose the Yoli kit and just really briefly go through that. Marnie says rum, so we'll have to have some rum ready also. And then we'll kind of go through some of the options for people to get started if there's guests here. Obviously, our goal is to have, you know, just one or two guests here that we can share Yoli with, okay? No Blitz call this Thursday or next Thursday. Bernice and myself and Jamie are headed to Orlando on Thursday for the Mastermind networking event, which we're super excited about. So no Blitz call. And then, of course, Thanksgiving is next week, so there won't be a call then either. Let's see, what else? Team calls for December. I've said these, but just make sure you have them on your calendars. December 2nd and December 16th. 2nd and 16th of December. And just like these, they'll be at 7:15. So the Blitz call's at 7, and then we'll roll right into the team call at 7:15, December 2nd and December 16th. We are going to do a team huddle at our house. This is a members only thing. So similar to what we just did with the next level training, it'll just be shorter. That first one was a little bit longer because we had so many things that I wanted to train you guys on and cover for that first one. But Sunday, December 8th, from 1 to 3 p.m. Sunday, December 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Miller's house. That is a Team Unleashed members only gathering. So what we want to try to do is we want to get more consistent with our events so that people have a better idea of what our events are. We've tried lots of different things in the past to figure out what works. And I know sometimes that creates confusion because you're like, who do I invite? Like, who's this supposed to be for? Who am I supposed to bring with me? So the huddles at our house, like when I say it's a team huddle, that's for members only. So those are for people who are, wanting to grow their business. You have goals in your business. You want to grow your mindset. You want to get better at growing your business and have a financial transformation. So that is members only. So we want to try and do that once a month and get consistent with that. And then, and we might rotate that around to different locations. It doesn't always have to be at our house. And then the rally, the Beyond All Limits community rally, is something that you can plug everybody into. We want to provide free value to people to continue to bring people into our community and make an impact. So that next event is December 19th. So those are on Thursday nights, December 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. That's Beyond All Limits Community Rally. And I just want to plug on this chat box here and see if I'm missing something that somebody's saying. Southern Iowa, we can make road trips too. Yeah, see, Chad, right? We need to bounce these all over the place. So Beyond All Limits, December 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. We'll do that at Royal Flooring again. You can invite anybody, your team members, your customers, people that aren't a part of Yoli. We share stories. We have yummy recipes, usually from Laura. We have just product education and health education. Like, it's value for anybody, regardless of whether they're doing Yoli or not. But I'm going to start to do a little bit of like a soft close at the end, so that if there are guests or customers in the audience that are considering taking action towards a physical, emotional, or financial transformation, that we can be a little bit more clear on how they can get started and be a part of our mission at those events, so that we can close the loop a little bit more versus being so vague, okay? All right, so that's all the announcements that I have. There is probably a Christmas party, a Yoli Christmas get-together coming up in December. Jamie McCudden and Tina are heading that up, so look for information to come from them on a little Christmas get-together. And then, Laura, I'm going to have you unmute yourself for me, please, my dear. And for those of you that don't know Laura, she is one of Jamie's newest members, and she is the recipe queen. For those of you that are in the Wellness Warrior page, she like knocks us all out of the park with her baking and cooking that she does, which is fantastic, and brings such awesome things to our community events. But what I wanted Laura to share, and this is Laura to share, this is her first time speaking on the call, so give her some kudos, right, for getting on the call and sharing tonight. I know it's not always the easiest thing to do, but Laura, I would love if you would share what you have done with Jamie to start your business and kind of the success that you've already had just in the last week or two. So go for it, girl.
Okay. I held 3 BBPs. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Over the last, I think 3 weeks. I'm not sure. So I had like 1 a week. The first one was very formal, probably like your typical BBP would be. The second one was very informal. It was a couple gals I just had from my old job come out. And we just, I made a couple snacks and just chatted for a bit. And then my last one, I actually got the idea from Lanny for her happy hour. So I stole her idea, sort of, and I turned it into a sample Sunday. So I just invited a ton of people and just hoped that they would come. And so I had 3 people show up, and out of the 3, 2 ordered a kit. So I'll jump back to my first one. My parents ordered a share pack. So I actually sold 4 kits, but as a share pack, you only get it as one. So that was my 3, and that was my goal. And I still actually have 10 more days left. So if I want to hold something else, I have 10 more days, and I could try for another free kit, I guess. But that was my goal. I really wanted a kit because I was basically out of product other than my Alkali and my Pure, and I didn't want to purchase any. I wanted to earn it. So I was pretty happy about it.
Sorry, I was muted. It's absolutely fantastic. Like, I love that you started your business and you were like off and running and sharing, and congratulations on earning your free product. Laura, can you elaborate, like, how did you pick the people that you were going to invite to these initial meetings?
Well, my first one, I had my parents, my dad and my stepmom, and my husband's parents come out. His parents have a lot of health issues, and as most of you know, my dad had just been diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I really wanted to start him on the kit, and if they all wanted to jump on, it was going to be great. But I at least got my stepmom and my dad on the idea that it was a good thing to start. So that was where I started. And then I just kind of thought of people that I knew needed it, and that's where I started. So some gals from work have health issues. I knew they needed it. And when I had my sample Sunday, that one I basically invited everybody that I could think of. So that way, if they didn't come this time, they would know that I would have another one, because I would post on there, you know, a lot of them would say, oh, can't make it, I've got basketball or something going on. Totally understand. I will probably have one next month, not on a Sunday. I'll do like a Friday fun day or something. That way it's not always falling on the same evening or day, to mix it up a bit. But I do have some other gals that have health issues that I've talked to, and I've actually reached out 3 or 4 times to this particular gal, and she's finally getting back to me. So I don't know, it just makes me excited, because I think, oh, she's blowing me off, and then a week later she'll reach back, and then I'll reach back with her, and I think at some time we will finally connect. So it's just really fun.
Absolutely. And sometimes you find we start creating stories in our head of things that aren't even real about why they're not getting back to us, right?
Yeah.
And then when we finally do connect, it's like, oh my gosh, I was worried about absolutely nothing. Laura, one other thing, will you share, like, was there a particular like invite that worked? Were you texting people? Were you calling? Were you Facebook messaging? What worked best for you?
I did all of those. I did a lot of one-on-one with my parents. I did a lot of texting with my gals at work. I did a lot of messaging on Facebook, and then I did my party invites. So I did everything, basically.
Yeah. Awesome. And for your party invites, was it like, hey, I'm hosting Sample Sunday? Like, did you say Yoli in it? What did those look like?
Okay, yes, I did mention Yoli in it, but I did not go into detail. I think I just put something like, Sample Sunday, come see what Yoli's all about. I will have samples and treats for the party, and something like that. For that one, I basically did Facebook invites. Some people I did reach out to over text that I really thought needed to come, just to kind of give them a little push. Mm-hmm. But basically, yeah, I just did Facebook invites on that one.
Okay, perfect. And then the other ones, for the other 2 BBPs, you did like either individual like messages to your friends, like leading with the need that they had, or how did you work that?
With my parents and his parents, I called them.
Okay.
And asked if they would come over for a meeting. And that's basically where I left it with them. With my friends from my old job, I used to work at a school. So I actually had to go into the school a couple weeks ago. So I just popped in and talked to them a little bit real quick. And then I said, hey, do you guys want to come over one afternoon, and I'll make snacks and give you some samples? And then from there, we just chatted through texts after that. But yeah. So I guess one-on-one with my gals at work. I like to do one-on-one. I just feel like I get more out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So you guys just know that there's so many different variations in the ways that you can be connecting with people and interacting with them. And she didn't even use just one way to present either. Like, she tried one with the videos, and then she tried one that was more like laid back and just samples. So try different things and figure out like what works best for you, and also based on the audience that you're getting together with. So these are all different types of exposures that you can be doing to present to them, okay? I am going to do a quick screen share. Thank you, Laura, so much for sharing. I appreciate you getting on here for the first time and sharing with us. You did absolutely amazing. So we'll be asking you to talk more often, so get used to it, girl, all right? Give it up for Laura. Give her a round of applause. Give her some snaps. Give her some love. She's amazing. Brand new person. Okay, I have something I want to share with you guys, and then we've got one last person that's going to share. Hopefully he's getting on here in a moment. This was a document that Wendy actually shared. She shared it on her Transform Your Life member page, which is our Blue Diamond leadership page, and then a few of us gals were able to oh, okay, our next speaker is on the call. Awesome. Some of us girls were able to go to lunch with Wendy today and kind of look at this a little bit. I will post this in our team page, but I'm going to go to the second page first. And what this does is it shows you a super simple way that you can be building your business. Like, I know sometimes we sit down to do our business and we're like, I don't even know what I should work on. And so I'm just sitting here like twiddling my thumbs because I don't actually know the action steps I should take. So this was actually designed by Richard Brook. He has an awesome Facebook group called The Authentic Networker. I would highly recommend everybody to get inside that Facebook group. It is free. He has live videos that he does every single week about truly authentically growing your business. But this says 1 to 2 hours a day for 24 months will blow the lid off your limitation. So this is what he says to do when you sit down and work on your business, is to do 5 minutes of visualization. So visualizing, you know, whatever your vision is, like from your Better Mind program and what your goals are. I know I use, well, the first thing I do in the mornings is I close my eyes and I visualize myself like a movie reel achieving all of my goals. And then I use the Start Today journal from Rachel Hollis in addition to that, and then the High Performance Planner from Brendan Burchard. So you've got to kind of figure out what works for you as far as visualizing and creating your goals. Obviously, we have the Better Mind program and Amplify. Then next after that, we do 5 minutes of visualizing. Then we go on to inspiration. We've got 15 minutes of inspiration. Read, listen to something, you know, do something inspirational, whether it's a book, a podcast, your Darren Hardy, your Amplify, your Better Mind. Then we've got 20 minutes of offering and inviting 1 to 2 people to look at your opportunity, but they only count if they actually respond. So spend 20 minutes offering and inviting to people. And then what we want to do is follow up. Spend 10 minutes following up with 2 people that I invited in the past that have said no, right? So we're following up with people. And then we've got recognition, 10 minutes of recognition. So who can you reach out to on your team or your customers, whether you recognize them publicly, this says, but I think you can also recognize people in private also, like with the gratitude messages that Bernice just mentioned a little bit ago. So 10 minutes of recognition. And then the last piece is presentations and events. So when someone wants a presentation, I work another hour, and then I plan to attend all the events to build my belief and provide community. So that's a breakdown of what 1 to 2 hours of work can look like. Visualize, get yourself inspired with self-development, spend 20 minutes inviting, spend 10 minutes following up, and then spend 10 minutes trying to figure out who you need to recognize. And then it just gives you a little like awesome chart to keep track of that. They call it the Faithful 5. So I will post that in our team page, and then Wendy has also posted that in the her Yoli member page. So just again, this is another idea for you guys to figure out what works for you, all right? It doesn't have to be what works for me. Figure out what works for you to grow your business, okay? All right, our next speaker is Tay. Are you on there? It just says iPhone.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Okay, awesome. I wasn't sure if that was you, since it didn't say your name. So you guys, I'm so happy to introduce you to our last speaker on the call tonight. This is Datavius Smith. I know many of you have seen his transformation within our Wellness Warrior page. He and his wife, Kristen, have been doing the Better Body System together. and they have been knocking it out of the park, and they have officially decided to convert from customers over to being on our team and being members and growing their business. So we are super, super excited. But Tay, I'm going to let you take it away and share your story with us.
Oh, thank you. So I do apologize. I'm in the car because I had wrestling tonight, so I had to take the kids to their different events. So, trying to think. Probably the full disclosure, easiest way to start is that I've known. I know you guys all call him Kevin. I call him Coach because I've known him since I was 14. So at 14 years old, I met him, and he was probably the one reason why I ever won a match in wrestling because he was so easy to work with and patient. Years later, so we're talking 5 years ago, after not seeing him for a good 10, 12 years, we both just happen to live in the Des Moines area, and I run into him in a wrestling room. I'm taking my kid, he's taking his, and I run into him, and he tells me, hey, you should come check it out. I'd really gained some weight from when he'd seen me last. He's like, hey, you should come check it out. And so I came, I went to see him, and at the time, I was in a real tough spot in my life, and I didn't commit the way I should. And this is one of the things when I hear the story about people leaving and coming back, is that was me. I left because I was ashamed that I'd let them down. And so then a little over a month ago, I was I'd really got focused. I've got to get my health better because I'd been hospitalized several times a few years ago. I had taken pills for high blood pressure, taking pills for cholesterol, sleep apnea. I literally could not fall asleep without this CPAP. And so I reached out to him, and I really thought he wouldn't answer back. And that goes back to when you think it's going to be bad and it's not. And he was excited to hear from me. And then what was so great was his sense of emergency that he had, where if he'd have put me off a month, I'd have been fine. But he was like, no, you need to come now. And I want to say it was 2 days later, I was in their kitchen, and he's talking to me and saying, hey, it's time to save your life. And me and my wife were there, and I just had this moment where I just broke down and cried. And I told everything that was wrong with me, even the things that my wife didn't know. I was having trouble cleaning myself after going to the bathroom. I was sneaking food at night. I was getting up in the middle of the night when everybody went to bed and eat a bunch of food and then go back to bed. And I remember my wife was a little hesitant about, about spending the money. And when I looked at her and said, I need this or else I'm not going to live, she was like, fine, then I'll do it with you and we'll commit together. So she kind of became the champion from that point. And she wouldn't, she mastered what the program was, when I was supposed to take what I was supposed to take, Alkali, Pure, Resolve, what I was supposed to be eating every day. It's like, hey, you get a fruit today and morning and breakfast. Make sure you take your shake. All of this. And so then, since then, since we both made a decision to change your lives, I have lost, as of today, 58 pounds. Kristen has lost I believe 40 pounds. She might be up to 42. We're so excited. All our friends and family who we both come from families where everyone's overweight, been overweight our whole lives, and now all of a sudden they see not only do we have success, but we're not upset. We're happy. We have energy. The fact that it's 7:40, I worked all day. I went to wrestling practice. Came home, and now I'm I'll probably go in and clean. I'm not, and a month ago I was trying to get in bed right now. And so now our friends and family are asking questions. We're We're signing my sister-in-law and brother-in-law up to get their first transformation kits, and like everyone's just is super excited being on the journey, learning how to cook the foods we like in a better way, and so now I've like shifted to the mindset of I need to grow this. I need to tell everyone about it, and everyone needs to know. And you know, just coming from just years and years of selling and of being in this business, when you're passionate about it, do not be afraid to tell anyone what you do. Tell them like, yeah, I'm in Yoli, and they're gonna say that's expensive. It is, and we're all alive. So like, literally, like, don't be afraid of it. Like, hey, you know what? It's cheap. It's cheaper than prescription drugs, and it's cheaper than McDonald's. I promise you, it is. So what? Once we, what we're about to do is we're not just trying to help you lose weight. We're gonna change your mind, and that's the mindset that I really have right now. And I'm excited to push it and grow my business.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I don't know if you can see all of us, Tay, but we are all giving you like so much love and support. Can you see us?
I can see you, and that I like if I slide through, I can see everyone else.
Okay, all right. Okay, good.
Everybody else.
Well, you know what? You call Kevin coach, but I think the rest of us are going to call you coach, because I think we have a lot that we're going to be able to learn from you with your experience in sales. I see my husband there. Kevin, do you want to say anything? He's at his community transformation dinner at Gilroy's.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
You are the man.
Thank you.
Super proud of you, and like you said, known Tay a long time, and just even back when he was younger, he had a fight in him, and he's going to keep fighting, and he's a new man, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. Tay, I know it.
Right, I'm excited.
Awesome.
And I'm going to tell you how to get. I'm going to tell you how to turn all those groups into just thousands of leads. Like I'll show you how in 20 minutes.
I love it. I love it. Tay and I had an awesome conversation over the weekend, and he was trying to teach me all kinds of social media strategies and marketing strategies where we can grow this thing even faster. So I'm excited to learn from him and see him and his wife grow his business, because they're just an amazing couple. And I know that they're going to inspire so many people with that story. So we look forward to having you at one of our live in-person community events so you can share your story also. So thank you, Tay. That is all I have for you guys tonight. So thank you for hopping on. I appreciate each and every one of you and all of your smiling faces. Keep up those invites and have a great rest of your week. Love you guys. Thanks, Tay. And thanks, Laura.
Thank you. Night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Night.